Everybody, welcome back to the 90th minute. We are your host, myself, Liam, and Wazinho tonight.
Yeah, how's it going?
The other boys, they're not here. Rasta, don't know where he is. He's off doing his thing. Captain Eggy Greggy, he's painting a house. And Lucas is watching WrestleMania. That's where Lucas is. We see where his priorities are. But it's okay. Me and Wazinho are here.
It's
That's
good because Liam has not been here recently. Liam, people have asked, where's the ginger in the TikToks?
Where's that ginger child? Well, yeah, the ginger child's been off working a lot recently, but I'm here today, and I'm very happy to be here today. We got some good football we are going to discuss in today's podcast. If you are new to the 90th minute, please hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. Hit like on the video as well. It helps us out a ton. And comment down below. Get involved with what we talk about today. Ask some questions. Give us your thoughts and opinions. Give us topics you want to see us cover. I mean, give us a league, give us a game. We're down for anything. If you listen to us on audio apps, Spotify, Apple, Google, any of those places, thank you very much. Leave a good review. Share us with your friends. Help us get our name out there. You can check the links in the description for our social medias, or Instagram, or TikTok, our Twitter even's down there. But also our locker room. Wazin, you want to tell the people a little bit about locker room?
Yeah, guys, if you haven't downloaded, there's this brilliant app called Locker Room where it's a live podcast. And we usually do like about 3 a week on there with the 90th minute and whoever's available. And you can come actually just hang out with us, give your opinions, talk with us. Actually, it's not like a Twitch chat. It's like a live podcast. You can come on, have your mic, give your football opinions. And it's a great time. All you got to do is kind of download the app. It's on iOS only right now. Follow one of us, particularly me, because I usually host these rooms that they're called. And you join a room whenever we're hosting it. Join, chat with us. It's a great time. We've had some awesome conversations recently with you guys. And we actually posted a podcast from Locker Room recently. It was kind of our quarterfinal kind of Champions League rundown, I guess. Yeah, with you guys. So check that out if you haven't. And Liam, let's what else?
But the links down in the description. Is a great app. Download it, definitely check it out. But before we get into the football, Wazinho, it is springtime. And like you said before the podcast, it's time for some spring cleaning. And that includes yourself. You gotta clean up those balls a little bit, man. They're gross after winter. And today's sponsor, Manscaped, is the number one product in male grooming. Over 2 million men have checked it out and tried it. How about you try it out? It's honestly the best products in male grooming below the waist. The fantastic Lawnmower 3.0, the world's best, honestly. Ceramic coated blades, 7,000 RPM motor. It's waterproof. You can take it in the shower. You will not cut yourself. It's just the best. It's the best quality, the best prices, the best company you could work with. So check them out. Links down in the description. And if you want to save a few dollars, you use code 90th, 90th at checkout. You get 20% off your shipping, 20% off your order and free shipping. Honestly, a great deal, great products, fantastic company to work with. Check out Manscaped. And honestly, like I said, 2 million guys have tried it. You be next. Honestly, get some spring cleaning done. The boys need it, right, Wazzy?
No, exactly, yeah. And, I mean, maybe in the winter you don't need it as much. You never know. But, definitely check that out.
COVID lockdown.
Apologies if
we're coming out.
I apologize if I, look homeless today because
Have you not used Manscaped recently,
no,
sir?
I got home and I took a shower. I'm like, okay, I got work. I had work, so
fair enough.
It was a mood.
Enough. Let's get into some football. We've been talking for a while here. Let's get into the Premier League, of course. That's where we always kick it off.
I swear to God, man, there's so much football recently. So much.
There's been a lot of football recently. But might as well start with your club, Manchester United. We did do a Twitch live stream, twitch.tv/the 90th minute official. Very interesting results. Huge game today.
Definitely. United, Spurs. Some people were going to say it was kind of a boring game, I won't lie. Not the most entertaining, but also very dramatic at the same time. It was a shithouse. There's a lot of shithousery in this game.
Sounds like United.
It sounds like Spurs and Jose Mourinho as well.
As well, yeah.
I mean, the big talking point in this game was the foul on Hudman's son by Scott McTominay. And if obviously if that foul didn't stand, United could have won the game 4-1. They would have been up 1-0 to start the game. It was great passing movement by United, and it was a great strike by Cavani, grip pass by Pogba.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it was a goal scored by Cavani. It was
VAR.
originally given, and then VAR steps in and
VAR.
disallows the goal. And yeah, it was because of the foul on Heung-min Son, like you said. Scott McTominay seems to move past Son, and his arm flails out and makes contact with Son's face. Son goes down, of course, and initially referee says no foul, play on, and VAR comes in, overturns it. Personally, in my opinion, I don't know what the fuck VAR is looking at there. To me, it's not a foul.
Yeah.
To me, that's just part of the game. It's a contact sport at the end of the day. I know you'll probably feel the same way being a United fan, and I know you made a TikTok about how our Twitch chat was talking about how it was not a foul at all. I've seen I'd say about 80-20 in terms of people saying no foul, and then 20% saying, oh, any contact to the face is a foul. Which I go, no, it's not. That it's a contact sport. I don't understand how we're moving away from a contact game. Like, you can't touch anyone anymore.
No, I agree, and like I said, like a lot of people are saying, it seems so soft. Like the game's getting softer every day, and that's the best way of putting it. And I like how there was a lot of interesting post match comments by both managers, which were
some of those, yeah.
Let me read them out here as well. I mean, we will probably have the audio version here as well, the interview from Solskjaer and Mourinho. I'll try to add that to the podcast since I'm editing it. So, this is what Solskjaer said. Apparently, the game is gone. It's absolutely gone. If my son stays down like this for 3 minutes and needs 10 mates to help him up, he won't get any food.
I said we shouldn't be conned, but I have to say, if my son stays down like this for 3 minutes and he gets 10 of his mates around him, if he gets that in the face from one of his other mates, and he needs 10 mates to help him up, yeah, he won't get any food. And I'm still saying that. I'm saying the same now as I did with the first time we played him.
I just want to say, Sonny is very lucky that his father is a better person than Ole. Because I think I am a father, I think a father, you have always to feed your kids, doesn't matter what they do. If you have to steal to feed your kids, you steal. I'm very, very disappointed. And because with me, like we say in Portugal, bread is bread and cheese is cheese, I told already Ole what I think about his comments. And I have to tell you that I'm very, very disappointed that in 5, 6, 7 questions, you ignore the dimension of that comment.
It's a weird kind of analogy that he's used.
Yeah.
I get what he's saying, but at the same time, I'm like, Ole, what are you talking about? Like,
And then Mourinho went on to say, Sonny is very lucky that his father is a better person than Ole, because a father, you have always to feed your kids. It doesn't matter what they do. If you have to steal to feed your kids, you steal. I've told Ole what I think about his comments. I wonder how that kind of transpired between him. Like, was it a text, call? Like, did they meet up in the tunnel? This is what I think about your comments.
I gotta be honest, I kind of lead a little bit to Mourinho's side, where I go, there's no need to make a comment like that from Solskjaer. I know what he's trying to say was that it's kind of like he finds it kind of unsavory. He finds it kind of almost laughable that he goes down and stays down and needs medical help for a light touch to the face. But I mean, the comment about he wouldn't get food, I go, that doesn't make any sense. Why are you bringing food into a football match? I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, apparently this was also what Jose said on not winning the game after leading at halftime for the 7th time. It's a concern. I know some of the reasons. It's very hard to go into a deeper analysis with the media. I don't feel comfortable. I praise my players for the effort and United for the victory. I prefer to stay like this. Interesting. Yeah, it was, like I said, for the most part, most people found it a very boring game, but United did find life in the second half. Fred scored after. I thought it was gonna be
Good goal.
I thought it was gonna be offside for a second because VAR how it is. So I was like, do I celebrate? That's right. So good goal.
That passing play to get to that point was fantastic from your attacking midfielders.
No, honestly, I think the midfielders played well this game. Bruno, Pogba, especially Pogba was great. His hold up play.
Very good,
so, Cavani also with a nice finish.
Cavani diving header was sublime.
Yeah, I've been liking him.
He's such a great goal scorer.
Cavani's just been a joy to watch, honestly, recently. I've liked him a lot more than Martial. I like the experience he's brought up front compared to some previous strikers. You can see how intelligent he is, the way he moves in the box, how agile he is. If we had a younger version of Cavani, I would be so happy. I like.
Yeah.
I hope we can keep him because I know there's been rumors of him potentially leaving to Boca Juniors, but with Martial out now for the rest of the season, what it seems, he will probably be starting most games, which is nice. Also, I forgot to add on, Spurs' first goal was actually quite nice by Heung-min Son. It was a nice way to get
It was
across.
a good goal. The cross was very good, yeah. I want to read out some of the stats here from Jose Mourinho, because he has not had a good time recently at Tottenham. This is his 10th defeat in a single season. That's his first time in his entire managerial career. He's lost 10 games. That's substantial. 10 losses is substantial for a team like Tottenham who wants to be qualifying for Champions League. They've dropped 18 points from winning positions this season, second worst only to Brighton.
Wow.
What the hell is going on with Tottenham? First, a team is coached by a manager that's supposed to be very defense-minded, very defense-first. Why are they falling apart? Why are they collapsing? Why are they conceding so many goals? It doesn't make any sense to me.
No,
Is it just the players he has?
I don't know if it's the players or Jose's mindset and the influence he has in the locker room. Because, you watched that one documentary they had on Amazon, and it seemed like he's great for Spurs, and he can really uplift these players and get the best out of them. And it's kind of like almost of a decline. You would expect more of an uprise, but I don't know. Spurs have just kind of been flat. Yeah, you expect them to be closer to the Champions League spot with Mourinho.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think Mourinho he needs to take a step back from the Premier League life. I was
going to talk about Tottenham as a team now.
Yeah.
What does this mean for players like Harry Kane and Heung-min Son? I'm going to say almost guaranteed Tottenham does not qualify for Champions League this season. They already are out of the Europa League, so they're not going to qualify. They're going to have no Champions League football next season. I don't see them winning any trophies at all. I don't see them winning any trophies next season either. Harry Kane's 27 years old. If he wants to win things, if he wants to become one of the world's best, he has to leave Tottenham. And I think this has to be the moment for him. He has to go this summer.
No, I agree as well. I think we'll talk about Kane as well later. I mean, if anywhere, I think Harry Kane will be linked to City. I don't think City want to splash the cash for him because of his price tag. I think if anywhere he's going to go, he may actually go to PSG. Maybe they'll offload Mbappe and they'll bring in Harry Kane with that money. He's got that connection with Pochettino. He's like 27 Kane, I'm pretty sure. So he would do very well in Liga, obviously. And I think with him beside Neymar, that'd be actually an interesting duo. I think that'd be fun to watch.
I gotta be. I always view Harry Kane as a Premier League striker.
Yeah.
I think he could actually do well in Manchester United. I think he'd be a good center forward for you guys. Would Spurs want to sell someone to a rival of theirs? Probably not. But there will be questions about Harry Kane. There will be questions about Heung-min Son. There'll be a lot of questions about Spurs this offseason. Will Jose stay? Who will be playing for them next season? Yeah. I'm sure we'll answer some more questions later on when we get to question period.
Sure.
But
just to wrap up this game, because we've been talking for a while, just because there's a lot to talk about and unpack. But United do finish off the game with a great strike from Mason Greenwood. He had a great game, in my opinion. He had a great assist to Cavani as well. Just trying to show that little brilliance he has. I know a lot of people like to compare him to Foden and Saka. Look, Greenwood's this kind of villain player. He's had a rough last couple months with all these allegations, losing one of his friends to suicide. So mentally, things haven't been easy for him. So credit to him for finding his feet.
Good for him to be fighting back.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the rest of the Sunday fixtures. We'll start with a bit of an interesting result at the bottom of the table. I'm going to go with this one first. Newcastle United 2-1 over Burnley. That's a huge result for Steve Bruce's men. Gives them a little bit more
honestly.
Of a gap between them and Fulham. Unfortunately, Greg's not here to talk about the relegation battle, but I'm getting real worried for Fulham. I think that bottom three right now of Sheffield United, West Brom, and Fulham, I think that's the bottom three is going down. I gotta be honest. Newcastle has seemed to pick up a couple points as of recently, and
like
there's just a gap happening.
I want to give Fulham some faith. I know we were saying like a couple of weeks ago, oh, Newcastle go down and Fulham will stay up, but Fulham just have had. They're not getting the results they're needing.
A couple of months ago, Fulham were playing great football.
Yeah.
They got some good results. They were in a good run of form, and Newcastle were really dropping points. And it's just completely reversed. Newcastle picking up good points,
100%.
and Fulham are just not.
And right now, as it stands in the league table, Burnley's sitting in 15th. Somehow they're in 15th. And Newcastle 17th. Fulham have 26 points. Newcastle 32. We thought maybe towards the end of the league we'd have a battle between Fulham, Newcastle for that spot to stay in.
I think there still will be a bit of a battle, but
Yeah.
it's starting to get a little bit trickier for Fulham. But
Yeah.
who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll move on to Arsenal. They got a 3-0 victory over Sheffield United. I heard there was a Lacazette goal the first half that was very, very good. Unfortunately, I didn't see any of the highlights for this game. I didn't get a chance to watch them. But 2 goals for Lacazette and a goal from Martinelli. Good to see him back and scoring for Arsenal. I mean, it's a good result for the Gunners to beat the bottom place team. It's 3 points that they need to pick up.
100%.
That puts them up to 9th.
Look.
They're not a million miles away. They're about 10 points away from that 5th spot. I don't think they're going to qualify for any European football this season. But you know what? Arsenal's a project at the moment. They are a rebuild. Arteta's doing what he's doing. He's got a good group of young players at his disposal. So we'll see what
I know a lot of the
Arsenal look like next year.
Arsenal supporters that listen to us just haven't been happy with the way Arteta's kind of managed. They haven't seen many improvements, just fair.
Yeah.
And that Thomas Partey hasn't panned out to be the signing. They've just kind of viewed him as a flop. You guys are in 9th, tied with Leeds on points 45. I think Arsenal, if they can qualify for Europa League, great. But yeah, I think
it's still a stretch.
I think we expected maybe a little bit more out of Arteta this season. So
he's still a young, inexperienced manager.
Yeah.
He's still building a team. He's got a lot of dead weight in that team, I think. So
I think Bobman needs to go. If they have to, they need to sell him. They got to find a way to get him out of here. I know it'll be hard to get rid of that contract, but
let's see what happens with Arsenal going into next season. And we'll see. Let's move on, though, to my absolute favorite game of Sunday. West Ham United 3-2 victory over Leicester. West Ham are absolutely flying at the moment.
It's not just West Ham. It's the resurgence of Jesse Lingard.
Jay Lings, baby! So I want to table a discussion question here before we get into the game. Will Jesse Lingard go to the Euros?
Oh, I don't know. Because he'd probably be playing
is Jesse Lingard on better form than James Maddison? Probably. Probably.
I don't know if you want to base it all on form, right? But
I mean, you have to take who's in form.
true.
I don't. Mason Mount 100% is going to go.
Yeah, he's been fantastic.
I mean, Grealish should go, but Grealish is coming back from injury as well.
Grealish is an interesting one because he's had some injury issues throughout the last couple of weeks.
Will Jay Lings be on the plane to Euro 2021? That's a question that needs to be tabled and needs a full discussion. Maybe this is not the correct time and place to be having it, but it's a discussion that needs to happen.
Yeah, and apparently Jesse Lingard, since moving to West Ham, 9 appearances, 9 starts, 797 minutes, 8 goals, 3 assists, 72 minutes per goal involvement. He scored or assisted against City, Leicester, Tottenham, Arsenal, Villa, Leeds, and Wolves.
He's been fantastic for them. He picks up 2 goals today, 29th minute and 44th minute. Just fantastic form that he's in. I mean, he's obviously happy there. He's getting consistent minutes. He's under a manager that he obviously previously worked under, and he knows David Moyes' play style, and Moyes obviously knows his play style. They work together. If I'm West Ham United, I'm doing everything possible to sign Lingard permanently next year. I don't know why you wouldn't want him in your starting 11 next season. West Ham did go 3-0 up through a Jared Bowen goal right at the beginning of the second half before Iheanacho woke up for Leicester City to make it 3-2. He scored in the 70th and 91st minute. At the very end, there were 6 minutes of injury time, and honestly, West Ham were just hanging on.
Yeah.
Fabianski had a couple of very good saves. He went to ground to, I believe it was Iheanacho going through the box. He went to ground to wrap it up really well. It's a huge win for West Ham. It's a huge 3 points for them against a very close in the table rival. That puts West Ham up to 4th on 55 points. Leicester right above them on 56 points. Can West Ham get Champions League?
I think I think it's a realistic thought. If I'm being honest,
I gotta be honest.
I think the only issue
I'm looking at right now, I think West Ham and Chelsea will get Champions League. Leicester will slip into Europa League. Leicester been in poor form recently.
They have been. That's the thing. You're noticing they're starting to slip. That happened last year, and it's not like Leicester played a terrible lineup against West Ham. They played Vardy, Iheanacho, Castagna, and DDT. It was a good lineup, which they'd been rocking mostly all season. So if I'm a West Ham supporter, I might be actually excited to potentially have Champions League football. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's see who they play coming up. They have Newcastle, Chelsea on the 24th. Huge game.
Huge game.
After that, they've got Burnley, Everton, Brighton, West Brom, and Southampton.
So on paper, that's an easy enough run to the end. But those bottom clubs will be fighting for big points. You never want to play relegation threatened teams at the very end. I mean, at the end of the day, there's going to be no easy match at the end of the season.
The road is there for West Ham to get in the Champions League. That game against Chelsea, that's probably the biggest London match of the season.
It's huge. It's always huge.
So I'm excited for that one.
There was a couple injury issues. So Declan Rice is out till about May.
Okay.
Mark Noble got injured in this game. He looked like he maybe dislocated his shoulder or something. I don't know what happened, but he went down and injured his arm. For Leicester, they were missing James Maddison, Hamza Chowdhury, and Ayoze Perez because they all broke COVID restrictions, and he benched them. Good move by Brendan Rodgers, 100%. Very good move to actually, you know what, there's consequences to your actions. There's a lot bigger things happening in the world than football and sport. And credit to him for that. Unfortunately for them, those players, especially Perez and Maddison, I think, could have definitely made a difference in today's match and maybe cost the Foxes 3 points. You never know.
And I mean, we're talking about kind of Leicester, kind of, they're falling off from that Champions League spot again. It seems hopefully not, because we kind of want to see them back in there. Their next couple games, they have a tougher schedule than compared to West Ham. They play Leicester. No, they play Southampton in the semifinal this coming week, and then West Brom. Okay, but they have United on May 11th. After that, they have Chelsea and then Spurs.
That's a tough run.
That could. And if you're looking at West Ham's schedule, it's like, okay, things can change here quick for us.
Yeah.
And
no, 100%. It's going to be such a tight race to the end, and I'm so looking forward to it. And every week when we have a podcast here, we're going to be having the same discussion of will it be West Ham, will it be Leicester,
people
will it be Chelsea?
Are asking us, like, who's going to get top four? What's your predictions? I can't predict the top four right now. United, City, and then I don't know.
I can predict the top two.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. Who knows? From like 3rd till 10th, who knows, really?
Yeah. All right,
let's move into the Saturday. Big shocking result was Leeds' 2-1 victory over Manchester City. Leeds were a man down for the entirety of the second half. Stuart Dallas does get 2 goals in this game. Huge result for Leeds. They scored in the 91st minute to win it. Credit to Bielsa, credit to Leeds. Huge result, great result for them. Unfortunately, this was the early match, so here in Canada where we are, 5 a.m. We weren't up for that one.
Statistically, obviously, City dominated this match.
As they always do, yeah.
But it's crazy, Leeds got a red card at halftime. They still managed to win it in the last minute, so credit to them. And it's great. Crazy how Guardiola, he always praises Bielsa, even before the game. He was saying some comments about him. And next thing you know, Bielsa beats him. And I think Pep after the game, he was not happy. He was like, I'm okay to lose to Bielsa. He's the godfather. I don't know, man. But
I mean, it's a huge result for Leeds. Yeah. Ultimately, it doesn't mean much in terms of the Manchester City season. They could probably lose the majority of their games from here to the end of the year and still be crowned champions. But great result for Leeds, and credit to them.
It's funny. It's like some United supporters we're in the title race again. Like, no. It's not going to, no.
Liverpool, they were able to turn around some Anfield
Yeah,
form. And they
true.
actually won at home for once.
2-1.
They picked up a 2-1 victory against Aston Villa right at the very end. Trent Alexander-Arnold with a curling shot to win the
Yeah.
game in the 91st minute as well. Great finish by him.
No, 100%. It was good to see Trent back on the score sheet. You know, I'm a United supporter, but credit, it was a good goal. And they got 3 big points. They're trying to get back in the Champions League. It's going to be tight.
Villa played well, though. Ollie Watkins with a good goal. It was... Liverpool are not Liverpool of the last couple of seasons. We all know this. It's just kind of almost dramatic in how different this Liverpool team is right now. I mean, their play style is just poor. They're not able to string passes together at times, it seems. Their midfield is non-existent. But at the end of the day, they get a 2-1 victory. They get the 3 points. They were all happy. James Milner was very happy that he gave Trent a big hug. He's like, "There you go, son." You know. I mean, Trent's had a poor run of form recently. Probably mentally not best, but that'll definitely help his confidence.
100%.
And to finish off the Premier League this weekend, we saw Chelsea 4-1 over Crystal Palace. Chelsea looked incredible in that first half. It was Kai Havertz in the 8th minute, Christian Pulisic in the 10th minute, Kurt Zouma in the 30th, and Pulisic again in the 78th minute.
Yeah.
That first 20 minutes, half an hour where they scored 3
Great
goals. Brilliant.
Yeah.
They were pressing so well. The ball movement was fantastic going from back to front. The finishes, like you said, the goals were just great. Pulisic's goal was fantastic. Kai Havertz nearly scored one of the best goals of the season. He flicks the ball over the defender. It would have been sublime if he put that in. It was a great save by the Crystal Palace keeper. Christian Benteke does get a goal for Palace. You know, he's actually scored quite a few goals against Chelsea. I
think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I can find the stats for that, but yeah, he's actually got a good goal scoring record. Yeah, there it is. He's been directly involved in 9 goals in his past 11 games against Chelsea. 7 goals, 2 assists. That's pretty good, big old Christian Benteke. A guy doesn't score very many goals, but good for Christian. Quickly, I want to make a comment about Crystal Palace.
Sure.
If you guys want to actually be a Premier League team in the near future, because I see you guys taking a step down every season or two, you need to sack Roy Hodgson. You need to get him gone. Get in a manager that actually is, like alive and can actually move and has some flair and energy to him. Sell Wilfred Zaha. Get some more, get a team going. And you know what? You might actually be in the Premier League in about 3 or 4 seasons. You never know. Do you agree with that, Wozinho?
Yeah, I guess so. I think that's maybe...
Would you sell Zaha?
Oh, 100% if I had the chance. What was it? I think... wasn't last season we were kind of praising Hodgson, what he did with Crystal Palace, and now it's just kind of... Things have changed.
I mean,
dramatically.
Roy is what Roy is. I mean, if you want Premier League... If you want mid-table mediocrity... I guess he works. I look at Newcastle as a example of, hey, don't be like them in terms of they were okay just surviving. And then they took a step down and then they didn't survive kind of thing. Crystal Palace, I mean, yes, you are 12 points off of relegation spot, but 12 points in the Premier League is not a ton. You're not going to get relegated this year. I don't think you're going to get relegated next year. But at the same time, if you keep not making improvements, if you keep staying still and being stagnant, I could see Crystal Palace being a relegation-threatened team very soon.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not going to disagree with you. Yeah, there's nothing... I don't know. There's nothing that really kind of stands out for me at Crystal Palace right now. Zaha is about it. I'm trying to think what else.
Yeah.
But
there's a couple games happening on Monday, the day we upload this. West Brom hosts Southampton and Brighton host Everton. So both those relegation-threatened teams got some big matches there. Brighton versus Everton could be a good game, I think. I think Brighton, their attractive style of play, Everton's as well. I mean, you never know what could happen with that.
Yeah, I was going to
Where should we
mention...
move on to?
I was going to say maybe La Liga because El Clasico. I was going to mention, with Liverpool winning at Anfield, hopefully that's a good omen going to that Real Madrid tie because at Anfield...
Lots of work to do.
So, we'll actually briefly mention Champions League as well going later in the podcast. Well, yeah, let's move to La Liga where...
Clasico.
That was a big game. Big game.
There was a couple big games, actually. But yes, El Clasico does dominate the headlines, of course. One of, if not the biggest games in world football. And it was Real Madrid who came out on top 2-1, of course, against Barcelona. We did do a locker room after this match, doing a full El Clasico review. So again, that link is down in the description. Check it out. Download it on iOS. Follow its Woz. Follow the 90th Minute. And you can join in a live podcast. You can talk to us directly. You can ask your questions. You can give your opinions. No matter how shit they are, we will listen to your opinions. That's what we do.
100%.
Right, Wazzy?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you listen to ours.
Yes. But yes, Real Madrid win it 2-1. It was opened in the scoring by a fantastic finish from Karim Benzema, a back heel flick down that right-hand side, Valverde.
Beautiful.
Jordi Alba dives in for no reason. He went full send when full send was not required. Jordi Alba out of position. Valverde takes full opportunity, whips the ball in. Benzema with a world-class finish. He's an underrated goal scorer. He 100% is underrated.
Benzema.
Yeah,
I mean, I totally agree. It's probably top 3, I would say, top 5. I mean, I put Lukaku in there as well, Lewandowski. But no, I agree. I don't know why he doesn't sometimes. Maybe it's because he played Madrid. He was under Ronaldo's shadow for so long, but
I think it's because the way that he plays.
Yeah.
He's not a... I mean, to use Ronaldo for an example, Benzema's not very loud and flashy on social media, let's say. But also on the pitch, I don't think he's a player that is going to... I don't know. I don't know why he doesn't get talked about enough. I got to be honest, it's a weird thing. He's a fantastic goal scorer, and the numbers he's put up at Real Madrid is truly incredible for his time there. I mean, Ronaldo dominated the headlines, which, I mean, you're always going to when you're Cristiano Ronaldo, but... Just, I don't know, Benzema is just a fantastic goal scorer, and it was a world-class finish, give him full credit. It was Toni Kroos who scored the second goal, a bit of a deflection off a couple of Barcelona players before it went into the back of the net. Barcelona did pull one back in the second half through Mingueza, the center back, who I thought had a decent finish. You know, it was a bit of a flail at the ball, but hey, he stuck it in the back of the net. Casemiro got a second yellow card in the 90th minute to make it a little nervy at the end. There was a big opportunity for Barcelona right at the very end. They hit the crossbar. They came back to Ter Stegen, who was up there from the corner kick. He had a shot, and it was blocked by his own man. And if that guy wasn't there, it would have gone top bins, mate. It would have been absolute scenes. Ter Stegen tying it up in the 91st minute, top bins. But it does end 2-1 for Los Blancos. It's a huge step in terms of their title race opportunity. Barcelona with a missed opportunity, but it was a great game. I mean, it was torrential rain happening, which you things you love to see. Always makes it more interesting, more exciting, I think.
No, yeah, and a lot of Barca Madrid people who watch this game, they say it was actually a decent match. It
was exciting.
One of the better El Clasicos in recent memory, so credit to that. I wish we had better coverage of that in this country, in Canada, but... La Liga
People
table.
talked about Messi. Messi was talked about a lot in terms of did he do much in this game? You know, some people said that the first half he was a ghost. Some people said he was the best Barcelona player. I mean, I think it's a bit more of a middle ground. He wasn't a ghost. He wasn't the best. He was an average performance from Lionel Messi, which in terms of Messi is piss poor. You know,
you kind of expect him to show up in a match like this, obviously, but. I don't know. I'm not going to say, one match makes, Messi seem washed up. He's still leading goal scorer in La Liga. He also has the second most assists in La Liga. It's just Real Madrid are a fantastic side. They're doing well in Champions. They've been getting good results, Real Madrid recently, for all the, stick they get. So, it was
a big result because of what happened today.
Yeah,
Atletico Madrid, they draw again 1-1 versus Real Betis. They drop more points. They're in poor form. They are 100%. In poor form as of recently, and it makes the title race just incredibly tight and interesting. Because if we look at the La Liga table, Atletico Madrid are top of the table still. 30 matches played, 67 points. Real Madrid, 30 matches played, 66. Barcelona, 30 matches played, 65. Those three teams are going to fight to the very end of La Liga to see who becomes the champion. I lean towards Real Madrid. After this week, I gotta be honest. A couple weeks ago, I was leaning towards Barcelona. Now I'm saying Real Madrid's in good form. They have a bit of momentum behind them. I believe in Real Madrid right now.
You never know if Real Madrid might have a match where they lose unexpectedly, right, to someone, Cadiz, for example, or Celta Vigo. I know there's a lot of La Liga 100%. Fans out there right now who are saying, La Liga is so much better than the Premier League. I mean, potentially, better team. I don't know.
It's a better title race. I'll give you that.
100%. And the top. So the only issue with La Liga is that the title race is always between those three teams. But then again, the Premier League's been kind of the same as well recently. But
yeah, to an extent, it definitely has been. The 90th minute, especially us. I mean, we have the best coverage of La Liga. We grew up watching. Oh, sorry, we had the best coverage of the Premier League. We grew up watching the Premier League, so that's where we kind of lean towards. Is where we have a bit of a bias towards. 100%, we do. Unfortunately for us, we just don't get great coverage of European football. But where should we move on to next, Wazzy?
Let's go to the Bundesliga quick, just give some brief thoughts. We don't have Lucas to give a nice breakdown, but just little things to catch up here. Bayern drew Union Berlin 1-1.
That's a big result. Big upset.
Yeah, you didn't expect it. Maybe there's still that title race in the Bundesliga between Leipzig. It's like
I think there is.
Yeah, hopefully. But I mean, Bayern played more of a rotated side, kind of. Obviously still have to take on PSG coming up here. Musiala scored a fantastic goal in the late minutes of the match. Or no, 68th minute. I thought it was later than that.
68th minute.
Yeah, but
it was tied up by Union Berlin in the 85th minute.
Well done to Union Berlin for trying Bayern, obviously. Dortmund 3-2 against Stuttgart.
That's an exciting result there.
Yeah, not bad. 3-2.
Yeah, that's a really exciting game. I mean, Dortmund's defense is definitely their weak spot, and yet again, it's been shown.
No goal for Mr. Haaland, but that's okay.
He's washed up out of it.
Jude Bellingham scored. He's been playing actually pretty well for them. When I watched them against Man City, he was quite good. Nauf scored. I don't know how to pronounce that. Kauf? I'm bad. I'm sorry. My German is terrible. But yeah, they've been playing a lot more youngsters recently. But the big news, also Leipzig won 4-1 over Werder. Yeah.
That's a big result, though. It keeps them in that title race. But yes, the big news, Wazinho. I know what you're going to say. Say it with pride, Wazinho.
Schalke won another game. Yay.
Schalke 1-0 over Augsburg. If you are Augsburg fans, retire, quit.
You're 11th.
You're no longer fans of football. I'm so sorry. Schalke has defeated your club. The worst team in the world. Has won a game. Things the 90th minute absolutely loves to see.
Hey, man, if Sheffield can win a game, Sheffield United to be exact,
that's true.
Schalke. But, hey, they're not going to get out of the relegation zone, but good job. You need confidence.
Yeah, Schalke are sitting rock bottom of the table on 13 points. So. They're going down. But the top of the table, quickly we will look. Bayern Munich played 28 matches, 65 points, and Leipzig 28 matches, 60 points. So 5-point difference. I don't see Bayern losing that title, but at the same time, you never know. Leipzig are a good team still. They have a lot of quality, they have a lot of talent. We'll see if they can keep their form going and see if they can keep pushing towards the very end of the season. We'll see. For Dortmund, they're on 46 points in 5th. Eintracht Frankfurt are in 4th on 53. So we'll see if they're able to grab that final Champions League spot. We shall see.
Let's just go over the Serie A real quick, talk about it. Inter Milan still in first. AC.
Yeah, shut up.
Sorry, hey man, I'm just saying. But I mean, the biggest headline coming to Serie A, I'm pretty sure, was Ronaldo. Juve, they defeated, I think it was Genoa, however you pronounce it. Jeez, to my Italian supporters, or our Italian supporters. But yeah, no, they won 3-1, and Ronaldo supposedly he threw his shirt to the ground, and that was a sign of disrespect, obviously. So he was unhappy for whatever reason.
Ronaldo's a little grumpy.
I don't think it's a big issue for the club itself, but people are going to look at this as a pretty bad, obviously. And I don't know, it's weird.
They're going to lead to discussions of is Ronaldo going to want to leave Juventus after this? Yes, he's getting paid very handsomely there, but he wants to still win. He wants to compete. He's the ultimate competitor, I think, and he won't be happy with this season so far.
No, I don't think he wants to finish third. I mean, AC Milan are right now still in second. It's kind of a battle for
Yeah.
second almost, and Champions League.
100%.
Atalanta's in there. It's competitive. Serie A 5-2.
100%.
So Inter
Yeah.
will likely lock up that title. Awesome to see another team winning the title. I have a
Yes.
coworker who's a Milan fan, and I asked him, I'm like, well, at least Juve's not winning leagues. Like, I'd rather see Juve win the league than Inter. I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah, your biggest rival, your
Yeah.
crosstown rival kind of thing. But I mean, credit to Inter Milan. They've had
Yeah.
a fantastic season so far. I mean, I gotta take that shot of ghost pepper hot sauce. I
That'll
can
be
admit
interesting.
that. I mean, I'm not looking forward to that one, but I give credit to Inter Milan. They deserve to be champions of Italy.
Yeah, and then obviously just quickly skim over Ligue 1. I don't know why we have to, but Lille still first. They got a result. So did PSG.
That's huge,
Yeah.
man. That's huge.
Things are still
There's
going.
such a good title race happening in League One right now. People are disrespecting that league, still
Yeah.
calling it a farmers league. There's some great talent in that league, and it's a great title race
Right now, so far. I mean, I remember I used to call it a tin pot league, and look at me now. Wow, how times have changed.
You've grown, Wozinho.
Yes.
I'm proud of you. We'll quickly go over the first leg of the Champions League, and
Mm-hmm.
Woz can talk about the Europa League if he wants. So next week, the Tuesday fixtures are Chelsea versus Porto and PSG versus Bayern Munich. Of course, Chelsea with that 2-0 lead over Porto after the first leg. 2 away goals. It looks very good for Thomas Tuchel and the Blues. I think they're going to be going through. I hope Porto can score an early goal, make it kind of interesting, see what's going on. But I'm leaning towards Chelsea, of course. And PSG, Bayern Munich, that's the big one. That's huge. PSG with that 3-2 aggregate lead. Again, 3 away goals. Huge.
Yeah,
Huge
there's
game.
a few
I don't know who's going to win that one.
There are people that are confident Bayern will still go through, which is fair. But PSG, don't they have 3 away goals? That's a comfortable. Makes me feel comfortable,
Bayern,
right?
Bayern has to score 2 goals to go through. Kind of, if they have to win 2-0
Yeah.
or at least more. Can you keep PSG from scoring? Can you stop Mbappe, Neymar? Can you stop them? I don't think so. I think PSG will score a goal in this game. Bayern Munich will have to score 3, and that's a big ask. I mean, they had the chances in that first leg. They had so many shots on target. Choupo-Moting, I don't want to blame Choupo-Moting because I think for what he is, he did well. He had a good game. He scored.
Yeah.
He had moments. I mean, if Robert Lewandowski was there, of course, I think he would have scored a couple more.
Yeah.
But he's not there. Bayern Munich need their other players, their other stars to step up and win them this game 100%.
I think just try to defend better. I know it's tough to defend Neymar and Mbappe, but I'm hoping Dortmund could cause an upset in City because Dortmund didn't look bad against Manchester City. There's a possibility there could be an upset there still.
Yeah, Dortmund's got that 2-1 aggregate lead. It should be 2-2. I gotta be honest. The Jude Bellingham goal should not have been disallowed. I'm upset. I'm angry. I'm pissed off. Fuck UEFA. But I hope Dortmund are able to do something. I would love to see an upset again. I would love to see Manchester City tears. Pep Guardiola can hold his bald head once more. I'd love to see that. And honestly, I vibe with Borussia Dortmund. I love me some Erling Haaland. So, go up. BVB.
Liam,
Hala BVB.
Liam, so far we've been pacing this podcast very well compared to usual, so should we just
Well,
move on
we're
to
just
questions
the
and
best
stuff already?
I mean, I'll quickly mention Liverpool Real Madrid
Oh, yeah,
very
yeah.
quickly. Madrid with the 3-1 first leg victory. It's a big ask for the Reds at Anfield against a very good informed Madrid team. Is it impossible? No, of course not. There's always that opportunity, always that chance. Liverpool are still a good team. They're just in very poor form. I do have to lean towards Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I'm going to say like a 1-1 result on the night kind of thing.
Also, I was gonna mention, Chelsea. That I think they can honestly make a push to the final of the Champions League. Like it's Tuchel's transformed this team almost.
I mean, they
had one bad result
They
against
have
West
to.
Brom.
They have to play PSG or Bayern. That's scary.
But I think
That's
Tuchel
scary.
knows how to play these teams. He's an intelligent manager, so
Possibly. I mean, Chelsea are a
Yeah.
good team. They are a good team. We can't give them no credit at all. Chelsea are still a very good team. We'll see. I mean, I look forward to the second leg, the quarterfinals, but the semifinals. The Champions League is just top tier.
I
Man.
know.
It's sublime.
It's like, you wish
Fantastical.
you would see different teams every year competing at the top. At the end of the day, it's just such good football sometimes.
But I think we have recently.
Yeah.
I mean, Porto being in a quarterfinals, exciting. Chelsea to an extent, exciting.
Mm-hmm.
We had Atalanta, we've had Ajax, we had Tottenham. I mean, we've had a couple teams here and there being thrown in the mix that are a bit different kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Champions League is just great. I love it. I love this
Also,
game.
anything with Celtic to talk about real quick?
Well, we won 6-1.
That's good.
We did win. We played well from all accounts. I mean, you play 6-1. I mean, of course you're gonna play well. In terms of manager, it looked last week. It looked very likely and very close that Eddie Howe was going to be announced. Supposedly, he had dinner with our owner, and they talked it all out and pretty much agreed. Now it's not looking like a done deal. There's our interim manager's doing so well. He's won 6-1. I mean, shut up. Get a fucking manager in there who's going to actually do something and turn this club around. But I'm looking, instead of manager, I mean, of course I'm interested in who's the manager. I'm more looking for what the hell is our team going to look like next season. I think there's going to be a lot of players leaving the club in the summer. Players who are out of form, players who don't want to be there anymore, players who think they're players that we're going to sell on to make some money. So I want to see what the Celtic squad looks like going into the next season, and of course who's the managers. There's a lot of question points, I think, still with them.
No, yeah, 100%. That's fair. Well
We
put.
play Rangers in the Cup very soon.
Oh, wow.
That'll be very interesting.
Another old firm.
Yeah. Another old firm.
Time to go to questions and unpopular
Let's do
opinions
it.
from TikTok and YouTube.
I love it.
All right, I got a bunch ready here. The first question comes from the Jets fan. Does Canada have a chance to make the round of 16 in the World Cup?
No.
I wouldn't say no. I mean,
No.
we're Canadian, but let's just make the dance first.
I mean, yeah, we're very lucky to host the tournament, therefore get in. Canada has some exciting players. Canada has some world-class players in Alphonso Davies and Jonathan David. Will they win a game in their group? Well, let's wait and see what the group looks like before we make any predictions or anything. It could be in a group of death. You never know. But no, Canada does not make the round of 16 in the World Cup.
I think the difference of this Canadian team also is I think Alphonso Davies really brings that winning mentality to the squad that they never had before, that championship mentality.
A little bit of hope
So-
and belief.
But as Canadians, we just want to make the World Cup.
Yeah.
Potentially try, maybe we'd like to beat Mexico. That'd be a great testament, to see how far we can go. So, will it happen? I don't know. I'm just happy with the direction the national team's going for once, and
Yeah.
it's good things for Canadian football, soccer. Next question. This is a question we've actually never really talked about before, maybe once or twice. Liam, thoughts on women's football?
Fantastic. I don't know what else there really is to say. I mean, in Canada, like we said, we are Canadian. In Canada, women's football is definitely bigger than the men's side. I mean, the Canadian women's national team has done very well in World Cups. We've been the host country of the Canadian World Cup. Or sorry, the Women's World Cup. Women's football in Canada is massive. I think it's great that we have the women's game. That there's so many different teams at club level that can really provide a opportunity for these female athletes. I mean, I don't know what negatives there would be about the women's
It's
side of the
honestly
game.
there can be quite exciting matches. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not going to compare it to men's football because it's completely different. Also, the men's game has been around for almost like a century, I think, compared to women's football. I'm not too sure about the originations of women's football, but anyways, like I was saying, women's football, it's been growing well. It's going in the right direction.
Huge.
I'm liking that there's a lot more attention around it than ever before. The Champions League, the Premier League, a lot more clubs are investing in it. That's good. It needs more investment. The World Cups are always very exciting with women's football. So, I mean, I would say don't knock it until you try it. Give it a chance. Watch it. There are some good games. I know when Canada hosted, I think it was England against Germany. It was quite a good match as well here in Edmonton. So
I remember I went to go watch. I want to say it was the Dutch versus Cameroon potentially. And me and my friend, we went and we had no tickets. We showed up at the doors and, hey, give us the cheapest tickets you got. We'll sit anywhere. It happened to be in the Cameroonian fan section. Let me tell you, man, it was vibing. They had the drums going. Oh man, it was like plus 25 out. It was a good day, man. It was a good time. But honestly, the women's game is great. I don't want to get into the discussion of equal pay or anything like that. That's something for a complete other topic, another day kind of thing. But in terms of women's sports, athletes, and football in general, support it. It's fantastic. There's some great talent. There's some great athletes in there. Give it a try, like Wazzy said.
Perfectly put. Next. This is an unpopular opinion. The next generation of USA is overrated. Maybe just slightly. I would say slightly. I mean, it's not World Cup winning, but it's good. It's good. They've got a good talent pool right now.
They do have a good talent pool, and I think it's a bit harsh almost to say they're overrated. I mean, I think the biggest difference of this American generation compared to the previous couple generations are there's a lot more talent playing in Europe. I mean, there's a lot more of their players in their starting 11 that is playing across Europe rather than just in America. So, on paper at least, it should be beneficial. It should be growing. It should be higher caliber. I'm not saying the USA is going to go on to win the World Cup or even make the quarterfinals, but at the same time, there's talent there, and there is good young players. I mean, we look at Weston McKennie, what he's done at Juventus. He's been one of their best players this season. I give him a lot of credit, and I think the USA has potential to do something. It just has to be done correctly for it to benefit fully from the potential.
Yeah, they got likes of Pulisic, Giovanni Reina. They've got a lot of talents scattered throughout Europe. They're developing well compared to previous.
Top. I mean, there's a lot of good talent.
I think if anything, they deserve a lot more respect.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
Liam, good question. Who is the team you hate the most? Not just because one is a certain player, just the team you generally hate.
Well, Rangers.
Easy for him. He's a Celtics
Glasgow
supporter.
Rangers are definitely up there.
For me,
who does Wazzy hate?
I mean, I don't really hate a team. I'm not very. I don't like to hate, but if I had to pick one, it's Manchester City. I don't like the way they've brought money to their club. I just don't like the the dealings and whatnot and how they've kind of risen.
I don't love watching Manchester City. I gotta be honest. I can respect Manchester City in terms of the way they play. I just don't love them. I mean, Rangers. Rangers is a simple, easy answer for me.
I know for me recently, I found it more enjoyable to beat Manchester City than Liverpool as a United supporter. That's just me. I still dislike Liverpool. Don't get me wrong, but City, I don't know. I just don't like him.
I also have a weird thing. I don't love Atletico Madrid.
That's fair.
Because I find they're a bit of whenever I've watched them, I mostly only watch them in Champions League, but they're very crybaby. They whine a lot. They complain a lot. They're kind of dirty at the same time, which I enjoy that style of play, but I don't know. They kind of annoy me.
Yeah, but I don't hate Manchester City fans, by the way. I mean, you guys are extremely good, so nothing against the way you guys play.
I hate Rangers fans a lot.
Oh,
and Alfredo Morelos.
Oh, I like this. This is a good unpopular opinion. Teams like Manchester City and PSG are ruining football by just using money generated from other ventures like oil. I don't know if they're ruining football, honestly, man.
If anything, they're making it more... I think the more big teams in football, the more exciting it is.
In a sense, yeah.
I mean, I would love there to be a giant club from every country, and some countries have multiple giant clubs.
Can I be honest?
I would, yeah.
I don't think the money really has to do anything with it. It's mostly comes down to the recruitment and the way they bring in players. Especially Manchester City, they've done it very efficiently.
They've done a fantastic
job.
they
bring in the right players. They listen to their managers. There's good communication between the board and the coaching staff. Whereas you don't really see that between, in Arsenal. They're rich. They're a big club. Manchester United, for example, as well. Real Madrid, very rich club. They signed a lot of players pretty seamlessly. So, yeah. And PSG as well.
I don't mind. I mean, I know we can sit here and say, oh, we don't like the way they do this, or the way they do that. At the end of the day, they're a business. Football is a business now. It's not a sport, it's a business. I don't care how you get your money. I don't care how you get your revenue. All I care about is that you are finding and producing the best possible talent to make this game better.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, that's all I care about. I'm not no financial adjudicator.
Unpopular opinion: MLS teams like Sounders, Crew, and Galaxy would do well in Europe's top leagues, the Champions League. Greetings from Germany. Okay, interesting. I don't know about the Champions League, but maybe
I
like
don't think they would do well.
no.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we can always talk about would this club do well in the Premier League? Would this club do well in the Liga? If you gave, let's use LA Galaxy for an example, because LA Galaxy have been able to attract very big names over their history. If you gave LA Galaxy the money of the Premier League
Yeah.
compared to the MLS, are you telling me a guy like, let's use Neymar for an example, wouldn't love to live in Los Angeles and play in the Premier League? That'd be fantastic, you know? I mean, people don't think about how a footballer is a real person at the same time. They want to live where it's nice and warm. They want to live somewhere where they can, you know, they can make a lot of money at the same time. But the current day MLS teams in Europe's top competitions and the Champions League, no. I don't think they do well. I don't think they survive anything. They get torn apart.
You know something that MLS doesn't get enough praise for? Their supporters. Because there's a lot of teams there that have great supporters, like Atalanta, like Seattle. There's probably a few more. And I don't know.
Portland Timbers, yeah.
And I feel like people just don't recognize that, especially from Europe. Like, watch some of these. It's wild.
I mean, I've definitely watched a TikTok or two of the chants, and I go, that's cringe. That is what. Sometimes I go, just because we have North American accents does not mean we are those North American football fans. But at the same time, isn't the game of football about building a community, building a fan base? I don't care if you are an American who watches one or two matches a year. I just care that you are watching a match or two a year, you know. But I do understand. I understand both sides of the story. I understand what you're saying, Woz. I understand what European supporters say in terms of they're just a joke. They're kind of cringe, 100%. But they're supporting. They are getting out. They're going to their team matches. They're going to buy the kits and everything. They're supporting, and that's all that really matters. Let them do them.
Yeah, well, there's two more things here. Apparently, it's, I think, a popular opinion. I don't know. Neymar apparently is better than Ronaldinho. I don't think Neymar will be ever as iconic as Ronaldinho, though.
Not as iconic. Not as influential. And probably won't win as much.
Yeah.
But pound for pound, player versus player, he might be. Neymar's a fucking talent, man. He is incredible to watch. But then again, Ronaldinho
also
not
won a Ballon d'Or
at all. He was brilliant.
Yeah.
Ronaldinho was a showman. He was very technically gifted. He had an eye for goal. He had the eye for a pass. I mean,
if I'm being honest, I think Neymar has been the closest thing we've got to a Ronaldinho since he kind of left Europe. So
yeah.
I think maybe all around player, maybe Neymar's a bit better, but it's so hard to compare.
They're very tough to compare.
People love Ronaldinho. People love him.
I think in terms of influence, like you said, Ronaldinho will always have.
He's got so much respect from all over Europe. Like, he's one of those players that's hard to hate, right?
Yeah, everyone loves Dino.
Yeah. Here we go. Last question, I guess. Why do most people say the Prem is the best league?
Coverage.
Yeah, it has the best coverage.
Worldwide.
Anyone can almost tune into it. I
have. I can count maybe on one hand the amount of La Liga, Serie A, or Bundesliga matches I've watched that have not involved the big clubs. Meanwhile, Premier League, I will happily sit and watch West Brom versus Burnley. Is it shit? Yes, but I'll sit there and happily watch it because it's available to me. I have to work to find a Bundesliga game or a La Liga game or a Serie A match. For Premier League, especially when we were growing up, it was the only thing that was on Canadian TV. It was the only thing we had access to. Now, luckily, with different streaming services, we have the ability to watch different leagues. But the Premier League, for us, is just from availability. But also, the title race is always exciting in the Premier League, I think. There's always a mid-table battle. There's always a relegation battle. Some huge names at every club. I mean, the Premier League has had some of the most dramatic moments ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you summed it up perfectly. Just the way the Premier League's been marketed has been perfect.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people argue that La Liga is better. Yeah, you might have better teams. You win more Champions Leagues, yes, but the Premier League just it suits the needs of most football supporters.
You have to remember there's a difference between being a better league and having better teams. Those are two separate conversations. I mean, better teams 100%, La Liga, Bundesliga 100%. Better league, I still find it very tough to beat the Premier League.
And this is one thing I wanted to include into the podcast. This guy had a hot take on one of our videos. He says, hot take, chemistry is much more important than how good the players are on paper when talking about the national teams.
Yeah.
I would say 100% in a sense. Like, you look at England, for example, chemistry was never too great in, 06 and whatnot, and they had great talent, but the chemistry was just not there because they played for such rival clubs.
That England golden generation was really, really... Yeah, like I said, the chemistry and the poor management really did not let them live up to potential. You look at national teams like Germany, where a lot of their players play in Germany. Yes, they're rival clubs, but they play in the same league. And I always find the German national team to be something to admire. And to an extent, I do agree with that comment of you need the chemistry more than you might need star names. I think star names definitely don't hurt, but 100% the chemistry is so vital for a big team, for a national team.
There's a question on YouTube we have. Myron asks, who do you guys think is the best captain ever?
I'm gonna lean towards Scott Brown. I gotta be honest.
Personal favorite.
His trophies. Let me find a Scott Brown trophy haul, because the man has won so much.
I think for a lot of people, they'll point towards Roy Keane, his presence on the pitch, the way he motivated players, the way he called out players. He said it how it is. But I think a personal favorite of mine would probably be Carlos Puyol. I really like the way he commanded on the pitch from the back, so yeah.
There you go. Okay. Scott Brown has won 19 trophies at Celtic. Basically, he's won a trophy every 28 games he played.
Jesus, man.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
That's pretty good. So
in terms of influence at a club, Scott Brown's been just brilliant. I mean, he's been my personal idol, but definitely there's been a lot of good captains over the years, national team and club wise. They said Roy Keane will get a lot of the shouts. But I think a captain is a captain for you and for your club. I mean, you might support some team in Bulgaria. I might have your captain, right?
There's a shout. Cristiano Ronaldo.
For Portugal? I mean, what he did for Portugal was very inspirational and very admirable to watch him from the sidelines when what could have been the biggest moment of his career, and he was cheering and pushing on the fellow teammates 100%.
Last question.
Schweinsteiger.
Oh, well, I think Lahm is more of a captain, though.
Philip Lahm, yeah.
Last question is from Michael. Great podcast. Thank you, man. Do you guys have... would you guys want a Premier League All-Star game weekend? Do you think it would work? No.
It'd be kind of cool, but no.
It wouldn't work, especially in the Premier League, because... every weekend you need matches, right? I don't think they'd ever have that pause just for an All-Star game. And I feel like, a lot of Premier League supporters will find that it makes the game a bit more Americanized, and I know some people
Yeah.
don't like that. So
Yeah, it'd be
it would kind of mess up with the schedules with Champions League, FA Cup. If anything, you want me to do it in the summer, but it'd be hard, man.
It's very tough to fit in.
I think it'd be
games.
good. Maybe do it before the Premier League season kicks off. I know we have the Community Shield, but this would be that'd be a cool idea. Kind of
A
like
little preseason thing.
yeah, but yeah, I think we can try and wrap it up there, Liam. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I think that's been a very good podcast, especially for having only the two of us tonight. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, whether you are listening on audio apps or on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, like I said, leave that like. It helps us out a ton. And comment down below. Give us your thoughts on the podcast, your questions for next week, anything that you want us to talk about. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And on those audio apps, leave a good review and share it. It helps us out a ton. Links are down in the description for social media, our TikTok, our Instagram, our Twitch is down there, and Locker Room, like we said. What else is there? Manscaped, I should say again. Manscaped.com. Use code 90th at checkout. You get 20% off, plus free shipping for the world's best and most efficient male grooming products. So check them out if you haven't yet. But I mean, Wozinho, from me and you and the other three bozos, wherever they may be, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching and listening. And this has been yet another week in the beautiful game. We will see you next time.
Goodbye.